Hey guys, how are we doing today? So today we are going to discuss a few different things. Still about the ascension and the process of the light activating our DNA codes and the crystalline DNA. So, I'm sorry, my kid is playing. So, what is ascension? Well, ascension is an individual process that each being embodied on Earth right now is undergoing, whether they are consciously aware of that process or not. So, whenever you surrender your free will or your ego to the divine will, that is when the process of ascension can consciously begin and your cells can begin to activate. And, beginning with simple things such as shifting your thoughts to more positive, loving, embracing thoughts rather than self-doubt, hate, and criticism. Because we're always in our heads and we're taught that it's okay to beat yourself up or make yourself feel bad about something that you really shouldn't, because the only thing that ever allows us for our energy to be drained is by our own free will. So if we're having a bad day, we're the only people who can change that. We can't let someone else bother us, or we're allowing them to affect our energy. So we're not having control over what we could have full control over. I got the sweetest kid in the world. All moms think that, but it's true with all parents. So, like my little garden behind me, my little fairy garden. Mermaid, unicorns, crystals, little gnome fairy house. And garden. Yeah. Sorry, my kid is a little upset, so I'll be back momentarily. So anyway, what I believe the reason for the shift to be is because, as you have heard about in history, they never fully have told us the truth before, but okay, so let's call them the indigenous cultures, like we've been told, or primitive. So like Sumerians or Egyptians or the Mayans, any culture like that. You always hear, oh, well, they started out stupid, they didn't know anything, and then there was just this sudden shift where they were building all kinds of intellectual things and had a bunch of knowledge, and they just won't seem to tell us where that came from. Well, that whole in-between process of like stupid to intelligent is what I believe we're going through right now. And it's kind of like how I described the other day, the tipping point or a boiling point, whatever term you want to use. It's really the same thing, because we are, as a whole or a collective, beginning to question again, rather than to just believe everything that we're being told as fact and truth. Because, in fact, it is not as we have been told and as we have been fooled to believe. So, there's just a lot more of humanity that is now beginning to awaken and question, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? I know I have to be here for more than just to bring in an income and then die and then, pay for insurance that does not cover normal death. It has to be an accident. Like, they have everything set up in this matrix to fail, so you do not succeed. And it's inverted and perverted and just twisted and gross. So we won't go there, but we'll focus on the positives, which is what I love to do, because you can make any situation better. People get annoyed by it, but that's okay, because people who get annoyed can't stand to be happy. And I use the word annoyed, I guess, differently. Or some of the words that I use, I don't use to the full definition, maybe. Not sure. But either way, to me, it's annoying when someone is so negative or pessimistic or always complaining about something. Like, there's more to be happy about in life, especially if you focus on it, because, as I said the other day, we're all magnets, electromagnetic fields, so we're just attracting what we're talking about or thinking about or believe. So changing your belief system, your thought process, is one of the first key steps into creating an internal shift. And inside, internal, inward is where everything truly happens. As within, so without. As above, so below. So the universe, so the soul. So it's just the way that life is, apparently. So today is a new moon, and I like to do small little rituals or things to increase my energy, cleansing, and flow during the times of the influx energies from the universe. And the moon is one of those energies that brings in an influx. So you can use it, especially if you follow the 13th moon or the Mayan time, or the Zolkin calendar, Mayan calendar, whatever you choose to call it. Then you follow the moon cycle. A moon cycle goes through 28 days of fertility, as does the woman. This may be a little bit too much information, but that's okay, because we're about sharing and knowledge and understanding. So I came into following the 13th moon during the 4th moon, which is the self-existing moon, which happens to be my tune, the self-existing tune 4, which happens to be the number of this year, 2017 to 18. And let me explain, I still said 2017, that's because in this galactic calendar, it is still 2017. The new year begins July 26th, ending on the 25th. So that would create, still, if you do 13 times 28, it's 364 plus the 1 day at a time, which we celebrate, where time equals art rather than time equals money. So it brings into harmony and balance a lot of things. No dis-ease. It's harmonic and at ease. You align yourself with the universal natural time. So what happened to me was, whenever I began following it 6 moons ago, because we are in the 10th moon, the planetary moon. So I used to never know when my own cycle would begin, as most women nowadays struggle with, because they're on birth control or any other alternative, and it really messes with your alignment and your flow, and plus causes dis-ease. Not going to get into that. Either way, I had no idea that coming into universal alignment could do so much for you. Number one, within the first 2 weeks of following the moon month, which is every moon is 28 days. So that would make each month equal, not inharmonious and 30, 31, 29, 28 days, whatever, like confusing to the brain. Well, my internal system synced up. And now, literally every new moon, which we have today, the week before it, my cycle begins. Every 21 days, pretty much. So, seems to come rather fast. Cycles happen quickly. They are never ending. But, it is a blessing to be in alignment and in harmony with our divine feminine energy, the moon. And it's a good feeling. But anyway, that's just one of the simplest things that has taken place on a physical level. The other would be, like, the most drastic change would be the conscious awareness. I would say I have quantumly developed within the past 6 moons compared to even the past few years. So, and that would be because using this calendar, it's not 3rd dimensional, it's 5th dimensional. Therefore, you have to not think about it with your brain. You have to feel it with your gut, your heart, your intuition. And man, oh man, oh man. It helps you grow your intuition. It helps you become synchronic and noticing all synchronicities within life that are natural, because that's the natural order of time according to this calendar. And there are, many, many beautiful changes that come with using it. Also, shit ton of information. So, I've read a few books, I've read a few PowerPoints and PDFs and things like that, but there's still much more knowledge for me to gain on it. So that's all I'm going to discuss is my own personal shifts that I've noticed, and today would happen to be the yellow electric seed, which is all about, actually it's the yellow electric star, I'm so sorry. So sorry. See? Now, it was a yellow solar seed this past week, and that was beautiful because it's the yellow solar seed year. So it was a galactic return. Now, today is not the seed, it's the star. So that's elegance, beautify, and art. And it would be the electric tune. So that's all about electricity. So something that came to me yesterday whenever I was spending so much time outside because it was incredibly beautiful, and today I'm indoors because it is incredibly cold because Mother Nature is doing her cleansing. So she's going back and forth in her frequencies too. So something that came to me yesterday as I was reading the tunes. There are 13 tunes. So what I am going to begin to do, and I noticed that I naturally was doing it during this wave spell, and a wave spell happens in 13. So 13 days are kin out of the 52 days out of a year, broken into 13 cycles, which it tells a little story. Okay, so this wave spell, we're on day 3 out of 13. First always kicks it off with a magnetic, lunar, electric, and then it goes on to the 13th, which is the cosmic tune. So each day now, I will begin on the magnetic day, do something magnetic with manifestation. And attracting to me that week what I so desire for my soul. And then go on through the 13th and work my way up. Because each color, there is red, white, blue, and yellow. So red initiates, white refines, blue catalyzes, and yellow ripens. So those are the real seasons in this calendar. And you can go through each one of those cycles on a different day, every different day, because you go from red, white, blue to yellow, and you shift back. So it's pretty cool. Either way, don't know that I'm explaining it the best because I don't have the most knowledge on it, but I just wanted to share that because it is very informative. It is a tool to be used to help you connect yourself to your galactic signature, which is your original tune, so you can get to know yourself better. You can get to know your family better, your life. You can grow consciously and be aware of your soul's purpose and just be a part of the galactic community and understand. It really is a game changer. And so one of the biggest ways for humanity to help the world out in the smallest of ways truly would have to be at an individual level. Instead of saying, hey, I want to go out and help the soup kitchen today or volunteer. Instead of doing that, take some downtime. Some time for yourself to just be like, nope, not going to talk to anybody. Not going to answer any phone calls. Not going to get on my phone and look at Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media website outlet you use. So many people use them all nowadays. But take a bath. Make a smoothie. Eat some fruit. Eat some vegetables. Say a prayer. Meditate. Lay down. Relax. Spend some time alone. Go outside into nature. Whenever you do that, or anything, when you slow down in general, you allow your internals to catch up, to breathe, to do what they're allowed to do at a slower pace. Because we just like to go, and not give ourselves any time to catch back up, to breathe. And it honestly affects the soul. And when you slow down enough to heal for just a few moments a day, the shift internally will be so drastic. Or if you're having a very bad day and you're having a really hard time getting yourself out of that slumber or negative mindset, you can say affirmations to start inside. You don't ever have to say anything out loud. Even inside, your thought process can shift from, I really don't like these people, or I don't like being here, to I am powerful, I am aware, I am loving, I am doing a purpose that will grant impeccable outcomes. I am here to see all the reflections of me that I need to see. That may not have sounded great, but just simple things to tell yourself, you know, it's okay. Yeah, this shit sucks every now and again. You don't want to be around certain people, but your thoughts about that will make all the difference in the world. And it'll make you internally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, be able to handle it better. And you can also always ask for support. You know, if you have too many burdens, too much stress, you can always send them to your angels or to God or source or whoever, light beings, whatever you want to send them to them, and allow it to be their problem and not yours, and for you to flow in the flow of life and not go against it, so that you can be in the flow to receive the abundant heavenly blessings. When you're out of that flow, you're always in the lack of. You're never going to be able to see it because you don't have the thought process or the frequency even, because if you can't have that thought, then you can't reach that frequency, because thoughts are frequency. We are frequency. And that if you can't have that thought, then you're not as conscious as you think you are, because being conscious allows you to question, and that is a very serious question. Who am I? What am I? What is my soul's purpose? These are great things to ask. Am I truly happy? Am I being divinely guided? Or is my ego walking this path, making life difficult? Am I going to work every day dreading it whenever I wake up, ready to go home before I even get there? Or do I do what I love and everything else is a result of that? So you have to ask yourself, what is your purpose? And if you can ask yourself, what's your purpose? Because everyone has their own path. But everyone is on a spiritual path because we are spiritual beings. So if you deny yourself that, then it'll just take you a little longer. But if you... It's 11:33. Synchronicity. 15:55 seconds on my screen. But if you deny yourself that, it'll just take you longer. But that's okay, because some people's paths are longer. They didn't choose in this lifetime to ascend like a lot of us did. Now, I know I am a light worker. I know I am divine. I know I am divinely guided. And it is time now that everyone who knows that they do have a bigger purpose, first to figure out what that purpose is. I know my purpose is to serve life, to help life, not just humanity, because once you become awake, you understand all life is one, not just human being life. That is the ego being greedy and wanting to be in control. So when you're aware you're one with all life, then you can start to see all the connections and see how easily helping yourself and answering your own soul's goals can benefit all life. So it's time for us to take divine action. That's my point here. Divine action in divine timing. There is no more time to lollygag around and say, oh, I think I'm just going to wait for like the perfect time. No. There is no perfect time. Because all timing right now is perfect. So if you... That's beautiful. if you have a thought and you get inspired, do it. Because inspired comes from in spirit. That is very powerful. That's divine action. That is your soul telling you, let's do this. And your heart wants it. And I have heard very recently that whenever you ask yourself a question and you're trying to get an answer, because in the here and now, the fifth dimensional reality, you can gain insight and knowledge as soon as you ask. So, when you ask yourself internally, what is my purpose? And you just give yourself a few moments, you'll receive an answer. And the heart will always have a short, quick response. Maybe the longest a little sentence. But the brain will always be long, drawn out logic and reasonings of why or why not. So that's one of the easiest, biggest ways for you to discern from your heart and your brain's logic. Because your brain thinks too. Your heart thinks too. And we've been conditioned in this reality to not trust our gut and our heart, which is extremely horrible, really, because it's denying the divine feminine natural ways. But that's what's coming back right now with all these light codes. We are just being slapped in the face with the divine feminine embodiment because we have denied its existence for so long. Every religion that's westernized it does not ever mention the feminine. All that it mentions in it would be about the Virgin Mary. Like, they want to depict the female as less than, as insignificant. Oh, the woman came out of the man's rib. No, that's all bullshit. Do you understand me? Bullshit. It's a control mechanism. Control of the heart and the soul and the mind. So, once they got you there, then they make you stop questioning a lot with little things like that. Little twists of the stories. So, she is real. It is real. I'm gonna say the divine feminine and the divine masculine have nothing to do with physical reality and everything to do with an energetic frequency. So I would say something that is a divine masculine trait would be courage, or the warrior, like even embracing your emotions. I think all of those would be divine masculine. I do not know all of divine masculine, but I do know 5 of the feminine. Intuition, nourishment, I know another one is receptivity, and there's 2 more that are just not coming to my tongue right now, so it's all good. But the divine feminine and the divine masculine are within all. We just have to recognize those attributes, those energies, and feel them, and you can even begin assisting them communicate together and work in tandem by, whenever you close your eyes, ask yourself, where is your divine masculine? And you'll usually feel it. Okay, I believe it's the bottom half of your body, so your lower 3 chakras. And then you ask the divine feminine, where is it? and it is the higher 3 chakras. So then you can ask them to meet at your heart center and work together in tandem and in harmony and alignment for the benefit of you, your higher self. And it will immediately start happening. Of course, you need to continuously do these type of things consciously so that it just becomes natural, because anything you get better at with practice, right? So telepathy, intuition, all these things you can just practice and get better. And the way to practice is to just start doing it. We have to change our lifestyles from the boring, mundane world we've been living in that's not filled with magic. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? It's just like the show Once Upon a Time. I'm sure many of you have seen. I loved it because it was about the light and the dark, and I believe that it was describing what we're going through now. So it all shows and movies to me, I can see the correlation in what they're telling us in the bigger picture. So that one, the dark ones thought that they could win, and they were trying, but the light always wins. They even had one of the saviors turn dark for a temporary time frame. She got out of it and became the light again, or embodied the light again. But that's just the same, like the old Indian proverb where the man was talking to his grandson and telling him that there's 2 wolves, and it depends on which wolf you feed, on which one you become, so good or evil. And it's light or dark. It's really that simple. But embodying both and embracing both and knowing how to contain or direct your energy for the benefit of the highest benefit, the best benefit of you and life, is something that has to be learned and practiced. And that's another thing that you can get better at over time. We're all still learning. But the whole goal for embodying the divine feminine and the divine masculine within, instead of externalizing everything and looking and believing we need a partner, which, that's always nice. But it's because you have seen the Star of David. Okay. What that is called a Merkaba, or a Merkaba, whatever way you want to say it. And that is the divine feminine triangle coming down and the divine masculine triangle going up, to where they meet together and form that Star of David image. Now, if it's 3D, then it's all the way around, and it's one of the platonic solids. So that is basically how you can activate your physical vessel as a vehicle to transcend up the ladder through time and dimensions, portals, whatever, creating your ascension. And also by consciously thinking about or asking for the angels or whatever to help or assist your DNA codes to be upgraded to the crystalline frequency, so that you can become an energetic body or a light body, as much as possible and become the new superhuman or upgraded human being, whatever they want to call us, cosmic being. I just believe wholeheartedly at a soul level that everyone on earth should really begin to question their realities more and why they do the things that they do. We need to stop judging so much because it does nothing beneficial for us, and stop criticizing. So if we stop criticizing and judging and all the fear mongering and all the low vibrational frequencies, we will see a dramatic shift in a short period of time. And it'll allow each individual to practice becoming loving, accepting, unifying, embracing, embodying all that life is really about, instead of being caught up in this confusing illusion of insanity. It's just tiring and draining. So each individual can change. They just have to want to. And you can live out your soul's purpose and be happy. And you do not have to slave away at some job that is killing your soul. It's just not what life is about. We are supposed to follow our dreams and be happy. Okay? Have a great day and click that subscribe button below. Thanks for your time. We will meet again. Peace out. I just know that we are all infinite beings and multidimensional beings. So we have the ability to exist on multiple planes at once, and we do. We just have the ability to consciously connect with them all, because we are it all. Time to go get ready for the day.